The Middelberg Pass is a real classic, offering exquisite views and rugged mountainous terrain on a mix of gravel and tar with hairpin bends and some very steep drop-offs. It traverses the Middelberg mountain range between the Kouwebokkenveld and Citrusdal. It's suitable for all vehicles, and together with the Buffelshoek Pass, which precedes it from the south, and the Elandskloof Pass, which follows it to the north, this trio of passes is virtually one long pass. On the flatter plateau areas there are farms peppered with citrus orchards and rooibos plantations, with blue dams with crystal clear high quality water. The pass has a fairly stiff average gradient of 1 in 14, with some sections which are tarred, which do get as steep as 1 in 5. We filmed this pass from west to east in the ascending mode. After completing the Elandskloof Pass and crossing the Boontjiesrivier via the single-width bridge, the tar gives way to gravel for about 1 kilometer, which is where the Middelberg Pass begins. The gravel surface is often badly corrugated due to the many heavy trucks laden with fruit that frequent this road. The pass is best driven on a weekend or public holiday for this reason. After 570 meters, the gravel gives way to tar. The gradient also picks up significantly here, but don't relax too much, as this start section only lasts for 400 meters as the road curves through a wide left-hand bend of 20 degrees. At the 950 meter mark, the tar oddly ends and gives way to gravel once more. This happens at a steep and rutted part of the bend, which is the one part of this pass where lightweight front-wheel drive cars will most likely experience traction issues in the form of some bouncing. This is extremely dangerous for vehicles both ascending and descending. Just after the tar ends, there's a prominent intersection with a gravel road leading away to the right. It's clearly marked as Elandskloof, and this is where the Elandskloof Pass takes its name from. Once through this big bend, the direction settles down into the north, with the road still climbing steeply. At the 1.6 kilometer mark, there's another fork which leads to the farm Kleinplaas. Make sure you keep right here and remain on the major road. Beyond Kleinplaas is a large mountain which blocks the view. This is the Middelberg, which has a summit height of 1,307 meters. The road now bends persistently to the right, following the contours of the mountain via a triple apex curve. The going is fairly easy along this section, with only minor curves to contend with, but do keep an eye out for the corrugations. At the 3.7 kilometer point, the gradient suddenly kicks up to 1 in 7, and here the second tarred section makes its appearance. The second tarred section is easily the steepest of the entire pass, and most vehicles will need to gear down to second to cope with the gradient. The tarred surface is good, so traction at least is not an issue. The tarred section is 700 meters long and continues to the false summit point. This section includes 4 sharp bends, all of which exceed 100 degrees arc. For vehicles ascending, these bends are usually not a problem, as your speed will naturally be quite low. The false summit of 934 meters occurs at the 4.5 kilometer mark at a natural neck. This is one of 3 good viewpoints on this pass. There's enough space on the right to pull off the roadway and admire the stunning views. Ahead and slightly to the left, the road can be seen sinuously winding its way along the mountain towards the true summit, and to the right the valley falls away steeply to reveal a vast panorama of rugged mountains with a wide valley stitched together by a patchwork of orchards and fields. A smaller G-track on the right heads off to the top of the mountain to another view site. This is for 4-wheel drive vehicles only, and it is a dead end. Next up is a long but straight climb up the flank of the big mountain on the left, which lasts for 1 kilometer. Some steep and impressive cuttings on the left showcase the geology, whilst the views to the right are simply out of this world. This is also the narrowest part of the pass, and if you come across an oncoming vehicle, it will be necessary to slow down and edge further to the left to facilitate safe passing. The true highlight of the pass begins at the 5.7 kilometer mark, where the road begins swinging into the south via a wide and gentle right-hand bend of 80 degrees. This big bend lasts for 400 meters, all the while steadily gaining altitude. At the 6.1 kilometer mark, there's an extremely tight hairpin bend of a full 180 degrees, coupled with a very tight turning arc. However, when the road was built, a fair-sized level area was created on the outside of the curve of the hairpin, which inadvertently created a parking area big enough for about 4 vehicles. This is an excellent spot to take a breather and enjoy the amazing views, which are the same as the views from the falls summit but from the opposite direction. It's often quite windy here, as the summit is just a short distance away where the wind funnels through the neck. Be sure to watch part 2 of the Middelberg Pass, which covers the final section towards the summit as well as the main view site.